Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which we record this podcast, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to elders past and present. Hi butterflies, and welcome to Boldly Me. My name is Chloe Hayden and I'm an actor, author, disability activist and motivational speaker. In this podcast, I'm going to be speaking to super sick people doing super sick things. Today, I am talking to my absolute spirit animal, Luke Springer, aka Mr. Luke on TikTok. You guys have been asking me to do something with him for the longest time. I am always tagged in his videos. He is always tagged in mine. We are one and the same. We are both just little golden retrievers living our lives, and I love it and I love him, and I'm so excited for him to be on today. For those of you who don't know Luke, Luke is a primary school teacher, content creator, and self-professed plant lover from South Australia. He has over 1 million followers on TikTok who love watching him teaching his, as he calls them, tiny humans. I love that. I think it's so beautiful. He is such a positive, warm, beautiful person, and I am so excited to hear more about him and his journey. Before we get started, my number one question that I love to ask every single one of my guests is, what are you currently hyperfixating on?
Oh my goodness, my current hyperfixation is morning dance.
Oh my God.
Morning parties, morning little boogies.
What's your go-to morning boogie song?
Oh, I mean, you can't go wrong with Avicii Levels.
Ooh,
that is
okay.
my ultimate favorite little boogie. But no, right now it's like any good song in the morning to get me pumped up, ready for the day.
I love that. I do the same thing. If I'm home by myself, or if I need a little jazz up, a little vibe up, my thing is musical theatre. I pretend I am on Broadway. Yes. I pretend I am on West End. I am having my debut main character moment. I chuck on whatever musical theatre song is currently on repeat in my head, and I just go for it. I'm on the couches. I'm on the tables. I'm outside. I am living my...
Ain't no stopping you.
Who's stopping me?
No one. You live that best life.
Live our best life.
Get it, girl. Yes. Amazing.
How long have you been a teacher for?
So I have been a teacher for almost 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Ooh.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
He's getting old. He's going to be furniture soon.
So you've been a teacher for 10 years. You've been on TikTok since 2019.
Correct.
First of all, when you started making your TikTok videos, did you know that you were going to, you have millions of followers now. You get a lot of views. Yeah. A lot of people are watching your stuff. Did you expect this when you started making your videos?
No, 100%, not at all. My cousin Lauren introduced me to TikTok. Yeah, late 2019. And originally I thought, cool, this is going to be a fun little way to pass the time. Easy, just watch death scroll every now and again when I'm bored.
Oh, the doom scrolling.
Oh my gosh, right? Yes. I mean, we're all victims of it every now and again. We're all
victims to it.
Oh, well. But it happened pretty quickly. I kind of got in the zone of van TikTok and travel TikTok and teacher life TikTok. And really quickly, I noticed just everyone really just owning themselves and having so much fun sharing. And it was pretty quick that I realized I'm going to do this too.
Yeah,
it just looks too much fun to have a little it's literally a little vlog of your life. A little highlight reel. And it's just so much fun. Did I think it would lead me, to be on a podcast with Chloe Hayden? No, not at all.
Oh, stop it.
But I mean, here we are.
Here we are.
It's pretty cool.
And your videos have gone viral and have made, I think, such an impact. I think for me personally, when I first saw your videos, I had very openly a very negative time at school. My school experience was not a kind one at all. And I saw your videos and I saw how much joy and passion and love you had for your career and your kids and what you were doing. And I was like, oh my goodness, I wish I had a teacher like you. And I think you're making, and a lot of people, it's not an uncommon experience for people to have very poor experiences with school.
Yeah.
I think you're making a massive difference.
Stop. That's amazingly kind. Also, just on that, your story about what you went through at school, how you've written it in your book, was holding back tears. So sorry that happened to you, and sorry you had such a tough time at school. And I guess that like goes out to anyone. I've had a lot of messages from like people who have seen my videos and everything, and just say like, "Wow, it would have been so different if I had a teacher like you." Mm-hmm. And that is like, although that's such a nice thing to hear, it's also like really sad.
That this isn't the common. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I would love everyone to love school as much as I love being a teacher.
Did you have growing up? Did you have a teacher that was an influence to you?
I had a couple big teachers that like I hold very close to my heart. Mm. One he was my first male teacher in grade 2. His name was Mr. Fitz, absolute legend. And I do not remember anything that he actually taught me. Sorry, Mr. Fitz, but I'm sure he made me that. But what I do remember is just the absolute joy I had being in his classroom. Mm. And that's kind of what I want to instill in my kids now. Mm-hmm. And then I have a year 6-7 teacher who I still keep in contact to this day, Mrs. Ebert. And she, again, it was just like the connection and, yeah, just the way she handled us. I mean, year 6-7s, we're like 12, we're 13. That is an interesting year to age to teach, shall we say. So she had a lot going on. But again, it was just that relationship that she was able to create with us in our classroom. Mm-hmm. Those are my big two, like, woohoo teachers. I'm sure there's more, but like, I moved around so much growing up. I went to like 9 different schools growing up. So
me too.
Yeah. Yes, what's up, my little mover buddy?
Oh my gosh, hey
Space
little!
5.
Oh my
Yay.
God, love that. Yes, I think it's so important. Like even having had such a horrible time at school, I had one teacher in my schooling journey, and I got homeschooled halfway through year 8. So what's that like? Yeah, almost 9 years of school education, and in those 9 years, I had one teacher who made a difference to me, and she was my grade 4 teacher, and her name was Wendy, and she was still, I think about her still every single day. She made the biggest influence in my life because in a time in my life where I was having school refusal every single day. I didn't want to be there. I didn't think that I was supposed to exist. And when I did go to school, Wendy would be there and she would greet me with open arms, and she usually brought her border collie called Milo, and Milo would sit next to me every day. And at lunchtime when I was too scared to go out to isn't it? And lunchtime when I was too scared to go outside with the other kids, Wendy would let me sit in the staff room with her, and she would let me ramble to her about my special interests. And when I was upset and when I got bullied, she would, pull me into a hug, and she would say to me time and time again, I know you're struggling right now, but this is one time of your life, and I promise you things are going to get better, and I promise you there is a life outside of school. And I genuinely think she saved my life. Yeah. Teachers are so important, and good teachers.
Right? It's insane, and I hope to be someone's Wendy.
Just from seeing you from a third person's point of view and an outsider perspective, I think you already are so many people's Wendy's, and the fact that you are showing your teaching the way that you are, I think already showcases that you are doing so much more than what is typical and what is standard in the education system at the moment. And, I don't want to, tiff on about the education system a whole lot right now because I've done that way too many times before. Probably, honestly, I haven't done it enough times, but I don't want to ramble on about it again in this episode because I want to talk about how good you are as a teacher. Perfect. But I think a lot of teachers do kind of fall into this one-track mindset, and this one track, this is our standard and this is our curriculum. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think quite unintentionally are only focusing on that one type of child, that one type of intelligence, that one type of version of normality. And it is so important that as teachers that we are finding and accepting and embracing the beauty and the difference in every single child.
Absolutely. We need to identify and just identify that everyone's different.
Yes.
Everyone's different, and I think I feel like it's my job as a teacher to best support everyone. I want to know how I can best support all my little legends in their own unique, individualized ways. You can't have that one-track mindset when we're talking about teaching and everything because it doesn't work.
100%.
Everyone is everyone's just their own little selves.
How old are the kids that you teach? What grade are you teaching?
I teach in South Australia. We call it reception, but then other states call it like prep or kindy.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Whatever the grade is. Yeah, it's whatever the grade is before grade 1.
Okay, so you're teaching brand new, like
4 or 5-year-olds.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so like super duper tiny humans.
Yeah, little tiny humans who are just learning about themselves, learning about the world, stepping into education for the first time. You mentioned that supporting your kids, as you call them, their individuality is very important to you. For 4 and 5-year-olds, what do you do to make sure that their voices are heard and that they do have autonomy and that you can best support them individually?
I think being able to like have that communication, like that open communication with also like their parents and their carers and everything, because I mean, my tiny people have been alive for 4 or 5 years. They're still new. They're still fresh.
They're still little babies.
Right? Yeah. So I think one of the main things is having that open line of communication with their parents and carers, because they know them best.
Yeah.
So it's, working with them to ensure that on our side as teachers, especially for this first year of school, we want to introduce them to school and the actual wonders of learning and everything that comes with that. But yeah, we definitely want to know what they're bringing with, like what they're bringing with them to school. I think is super duper important. Like what's in their little virtual backpack that we need to be aware of, because that plays a super duper big role in how best to accommodate them when they're at school, when they're in our care.
Yeah, massively. Was there a moment when you realised that you wanted to become a teacher, and when and what was that?
I don't think there was like one specific moment. My grandparents were both educators, so you could say teaching's in the blood. But so they travelled around the world teaching here, there and everywhere. And then growing up, I've got a younger brother who's 5 years younger than me. So it was fun to like grow up with someone little and to like help guide and show them the ropes and kind of like be the big brother thing. So I think education and like teacher life was always super duper there for me. And it was pretty clear that that was something that I found really interesting. But I didn't go straight into education though. I got super duper greedy at the end of year 12 and went, I'm not going to be a teacher. I'm like going to go into business because business is where all the dollars are. Fun fact, didn't work and like learned a whole lot. I only did that degree for a year, but by the end of that year, I was like, oh, wow, probably should have like followed my interests and what I'm like super duper passionate about, because once I like moved back into education, or not moved back, but like once I moved into education, oh my goodness me. It was like some weird random like weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And I'm like, hello world, this is me.
You realise that's what you were supposed to be.
Oh my God, 100%. It was like, it was the best. Bomb.com, never looked back. And uni was like so much fun. And then I was like super duper lucky in getting a job pretty quickly and everything. And I mean, here we are.
Here we are. And it clearly is where you're supposed to be, because you're clearly doing not just brilliant in your career, but have got a massive TikTok following, are doing incredible via social media. I think one of the things that people absolutely love, and I know that drew me to your videos as well, is just how bubbly your personality is and how optimistic you are, how cup half full you are. Were you always this bubbly and optimistic? And are you still always this bubbly and optimistic?
I think so. Like, I would like to think, looking back, I was always a positive person in the room. I don't think there was like a flick of a switch and suddenly like, yay, Luke's optimistic now. Hello. So yeah, so it's been a solid baseline growing up, and then just coming into education. It's just a fun way to be. Like, it is a fun way to be, looking at like the glass half full and like finding the fun things in the little.
Yes, so true.
It's fun.
So true. Have you ever found, because here's the thing, I don't know if it's the same for you, but a lot of the time, and because quite similarly to you, I'm very cup half full, I'm very optimistic, I'm very positive, sunshine. We love it. And that's the thing. Here's the thing. And obviously, with that being said, I still, make comments about the negativities that are happening. I still go, hey, there's a lot of shit that's going on right now that we need to fix. But at the same time,
100%.
I'm like, vibes, happy, rainbows, sparkles. And a lot of people don't like that. And a lot of people, I get a lot of comments that are things like, oh, she's faking it. She's too optimistic. It's fake. It's pretend. Do you get similar things?
Yes.
Like that it's a facade,
Yes,
that's a
I
face,
do.
that it's a
100%,
personality.
No teacher is this happy.
Right, no, the system has
teaching is
botched
not this
everyone.
good.
You can't be like this and a teacher at the same
Can't be
time.
happy as an educator. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, absolutely. What you just said, it's a facade. Like, this is just is just Luke on social media pretending to be this happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sorry. This is me.
Exactly,
Hi.
right?
I'm not the problem. It's me.
So true, Slay. But the other thing as well with that is, for a while, because I got a couple of comments on my book actually going like, oh, I don't like this book because it's too happy, too positive, talks about disability in too positive a light. And for like a hot second, I was like, right? For a hot second, I was like, oh, like, okay, maybe I need to step back. And then I was like, hang on. If someone isn't going to enjoy or like who I am as a person because I am choosing to see the world in a happier place, that I'm not going to make myself feel more depressed, to meet your expectations. Yeah, step out, go to therapy, babe. That's not on me.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to be in my little circle. It's not going to happen.
Yes.
And I think it's so interesting. You just said, how quickly you can, actually take that. You can look through that lens of, oh, gosh, maybe it is me. And
yes.
It can happen so quickly, but I think we vibe the same with this. We can very quickly identify when we have fallen for that and be like, oh, wait, no, I'm not going to go that way.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to be honest, it's taken a very, very long time to get to the point where I can actually, it's
Still
taken
learning.
a lot of time, it's taken a lot of therapy, and it's taken a lot, and I still get it wrong, and there'll still be, I get a lot of imposter syndrome, I get a lot of, I shouldn't be in this position,
Hello, me here right now.
Yeah. You are exactly where you were meant to be. There's such a massive point in that when we are succeeding, and that might be succeeding in the traditional sense where it's, career, whatever, but also when we're succeeding is in we are simply choosing to see our own successes and our personal successes and our emotions and all that
100%.
sort of jazz. And people don't enjoy that. We immediately go, oh, I need to pull back. I need to step back. I need to stop being the true, bold version of myself and instead be what other people's version of me is.
Yeah. And, I say yeah, but also, the answer should be no. The answer is no. Not should be. The answer is no. We shouldn't have to hold back.
We shouldn't have to hold back. We shouldn't.
Who we authentically are.
Yes, 100%.
Live your best life.
What do you do to protect yourself?
So, for me, love a little disconnect day every now and again.
Love.
Where it's cool, not going to check, not going to post, not going to look. And I'm just going to stay at home, water my plants, maybe watch a little Netflix or something, and just recharge. Because I think for me, I can absolutely recharge with people, but I also really enjoy my
your
alone
own
and
company.
my quiet time. Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of how I get back to baseline or get back to where I feel I need to be sometimes.
What do you do when your kids are having down days? How do you support them?
Again, we need to realize that my tiny humans are 4 and 5. So their roller coaster is extreme.
Massive.
Even though they are probably not tall enough to ride roller coasters. So how I kind of help them, I guess, guide them through and help, overcome whatever issues they might be dealing with is just a lot of support and a lot of reassurance. And for reassurance, I'm talking about reassuring them that their emotions are okay.
Yes.
Whatever they're
you.
feeling, big emotions, small emotions, whether they're angry or sad, whatever it may be. I think they need to know that that's 100% valid, whatever it is.
Yeah. Validating the emotions of kids is so important. I think something that gets left out of conversation and left out of the picture a lot. I think especially for 3, 4, 5-year-olds, they often have big emotions because they are learning what their emotions are and what their emotions mean. 100%. They don't know how to emotionally regulate themselves. They haven't been here long enough to have been taught that.
It's super huge what teachers like who teach prep or kindy reception, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot that goes into our day-to-day conversations and our day-to-day teaching life. Mm-hmm. But it's also just so cool to, and I think that's why I love teaching this age the most out of every single like year level there is. You witness so much growth, and it is so cool. Like, it is just so cool. Like, I mean, we're 10 weeks into this term. Mm-hmm. I had kids who couldn't read, couldn't write. 10 weeks later, we're like reading and writing. Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's, when you think about it, like, teachers are cool as hell. Like, the fact that you can literally
I just think we're pretty cool.
I think you're pretty cool. You're literally causing human beings to learn how to be human beings.
Right?
What? That's crazy.
It's kind of cool.
That's amazing.
And then also, like, not on the flip side, but another level of that is remove the reading, writing, arithmetic learning. What we're doing is, like, also encouraging them to, like, build their executive functioning skills as well.
Yes.
And learning,
yes.
how to be successful at losing. Like, and that's a big skill that a lot of people struggle with, not just 4 and 5-year-olds. Yep. Like, sometimes I don't like to lose, right? But yeah, so there's all that emotional and social growth as well that we witness and that we help support, and it's honestly ridiculous. It's actually so cool.
The fact that you are ensuring that it isn't just this, book intelligence that you're teaching them. It's emotional intelligence and it's emotional regulation and it's how to be a human being is so important.
Whole child.
It's the whole child. And I think that is so important because if I had one teacher at school that didn't just do that for me, but did that for the other students around me, I probably wouldn't have had to get homeschooled when I was 13. Like if I had a teacher that taught other kids around me, hey, just so you know, every single human is different and that is beautiful and incredible and difference is so important for the future of our world. If I had one teacher
we all
that
learn differently.
Exactly. And teaching that we learn differently, teaching that we act differently, teaching that we communicate differently, it would I genuinely think it would change the world.
Needs to be common.
100%.
Like, really just needs to be common, right? Mm-hmm. The whole notion of, like, we need to push kids through education and it's all about scores and testing, etc.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Like, no, maybe? No.
Yeah.
Like, we reinforce with our kids literally every single day. Learning's not a race. We all learn at different speeds. We all have, like, what our strengths and what we're, like, need to do a little bit more work on and everything. So it's just, I guess from being able to teach such little tiny humans, we can really just instill that at such a young age, which is super duper cool, that we can just, like, hopefully promote that so young and then set them up for the rest of their education life, whatever their education journey looks like. But as long as they know whatever path they're on, whatever their strengths and weaknesses are, it's all okay, because you are you. And, like, you're on your own little learning journey. Like, it should just be like that.
Like, you're making me tear up. My eyes are burning.
Oh my God, stop.
Wish I had someone like you when I was growing up. And educationally, autistic children have...
Sorry you didn't.
That's, you know what? I am where I am now because of what happened to me in my life. And
Truth. People
like us can make sure that other children don't have to go through what we did.
Yeah. And you're killing it now.
Thank you. So are you. Going off what you said, educationally autistic children have the worst outcome from school out of any group of children. And it is not because of being autistic. It is because of a society and because of a school system that refuses to accommodate difference and that refuses to accommodate for accessibility and accommodate for accessibility needs and ensure that those differences are celebrated. And I didn't do my tests at school. I hated school. I loved learning. Like the first book I ever read was when I was 4, and it was a encyclopedia. And I was writing full-length novels at the age of 5 and showing them to my parents. And I loved learning.
So cool.
Thank you. I loved learning. Education was so important, and I've always had such a hunger to learn. I've wanted to learn. I wanted to spill my facts. I wanted to learn facts, but I couldn't do that at school because it was so regimented and so structured and so focused on
not the right environment.
Not the right
environment.
Not
an accommodating environment.
Yes, and not an accommodating environment, and so focused on here's how you have to learn, and here's the correct way to be intelligent, and here's the correct way to learn and how to do tests and stuff. The facts that you are implementing in 4-year-olds, that their intelligence is not based on what their test scores are. Holy, like, you're gonna save lives, dude. And I don't say that lightly. Like, that is that is genuinely going to change some kid's life.
I think the biggest thing for me to be, one day I want to see myself as like a successful teacher, and that is because the kids I'm teaching now, 20 years from now, can look back and just say like, I had a really fun time at school.
Yeah, you can be someone's Wendy.
Right? It's like, yeah, I think that's the aim. Or I don't think, I know, because like even that makes like my eyes water up, because that's just, I think that's the ultimate goal, is to support all my little people and like, yeah, be there for them when they need, academically, socially, like emotionally, whatever it may be. But yeah, I want them to know that I'm there for them, and yeah, that they're going to be okay.
I love that. I think that is so beautiful.
We'll just open our own school.
Dude, Luke for president.
No, the Luke and Chloe school, I think we've got a better name for that.
We'll work on a name pending. Yep. Luke, what's next for you? Are you going to continue becoming an online star, or are you going to continue teaching? What do you see your future being?
I think there's going to be a little marriage of both. This year has started out with a couple big bangs, and there's some really, really exciting things happening in the pipeline.
Ooh, so exciting.
That are coming. So that's very exciting, which, yeah, I don't think I can say anything yet, but like, watch this space.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Yeah, oh my goodness. It's actually so exciting. It's very, very cool. But I'm not leaving the classroom anytime soon. Like, that is
brilliant.
My classroom is my happy place.
I love that.
Yeah, teaching my little people. That's what makes me smile.
Before we get on to our final little 3 quickfire questions, I've got an activity. I've got a challenge of proposing.
I love this.
Proposing an idea. We are both known as very positive, very bubbly people across our socials. I want to challenge you to a compliment off.
Okay.
And this is maybe because my love language is words of affirmation, and I need to hear it today.
We love this. We love this. Yeah. Get ready for your cup to be full.
Get ready for the cup to be filled.
Yeah. I hope you have multiple buckets.
I have. I've got them. I got bathtubs. I've got a whole ocean. Let's go. All right.
Amazing.
Do you want me to kick it off?
Lady, absolutely.
Okay. I love your hair. I think it is so long and so beautiful and so Rapunzel-worthy.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
I would like to compliment your wonderful sunflower getup you got going on today.
Thank you.
Sunflowers
you very
are
much.
just as bright and awesome as your wonderful smile.
Oh, that was a 2 for 1. Oh my God. Ooh.
Oh, we're starting off with a bang.
Ooh, okay. I love your pearls. I think they are so beautiful.
Thank you. If we're complimenting jewellery, let's give a round of applause for those amazing earrings you have going on right now.
Thank you.
Like, they are divine. Keeping
you.
with the flower theme, we love this.
Yes. Why you can never have too many flowers.
Never.
I love your nail polish, and I see your nail polish in every single one of your videos. I'm like, show me those hands. Show them to me.
Oh, yeah. We've got white and sparkles today.
I noticed the sparkles.
Excellent.
It's very monochromatic. It's giving sparkle. It's giving, I love it. It's giving.
Thank you. My wonderful turn. Can we just all take a moment to appreciate your laugh? Oh my goodness me. Honestly, it could, like, the laugh itself lights up a room. Done.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm bringing you on for every show. You can be my little hype man for everything.
Absolutely. I would like to compliment you of being such a wonderful advocate and like just an advocate punk rocker for inclusion. You are divine. You are kicking so many goals with that, and that just needs to be like shouted from a rooftop.
Oh my goodness, thank you. I'm going to bounce off that. I hope this isn't seen as cheating, but I want to bounce off that and say the work that you were doing in the education field, world-changing and completely life-changing, and I am so glad that you are here and that you are speaking out, because it is about bloody time that someone does.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Can get on board with that. Compliments on you just being your 100% authentic self in like everything you do is incredible. It's inspiring, and you're just totally killing it.
Oh
and I
God.
hope you are aware of just how like much good you are doing, because it's super duper cool.
Thank you very much.
You should feel very proud of yourself.
Thank you very much, honestly. And I know this is cheating again, but right back at you. You are such a positive person and making so much positive change in not just the lives of your students and I'm sure their families by proxy, but also the lives of the how many million followers? Like a lot of followers.
There's a lot of followers.
But you are making so much
cool.
change. The fact that people are seeing, and not even people that are following you, people that are just stumbling across your videos on TikTok and are seeing that and are going to have some sort of change implemented into that little back part of their brain and go,
Ooh, yeah.
I remember when this really lovely guy with beautiful hair and super clean skin and a stellar taste in fashion showed up on my For You page and completely changed my outlook on the education and how to be a good person.
If that happens, that's amazing.
If that happens, that's
ridiculous.
already. I can guarantee you that has already happened. I mean, you did it to me. So I'm number one
Thank you.
of millions.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a tie.
I will happily take the tie.
Love that. I compliment you on being a good winner, a good conjoined winner.
Hey, it's a skill that we both have, and we're both really good at it. So I also compliment you on this skill.
Love it. Luke, it has been such an absolute pleasure having you today. Before we finish
This
up,
has been amazing.
I'm so glad. I've had so much fun. I feel like the energy has just been matched so well, so spectacularly.
Yay.
Before we finish up, I've got 3 quick questions that I ask every single one of my guests. It is called the Boldly Me
Super
3,
cool.
and it is 3
Amazing.
quick-fire questions. Are you ready?
Go.
Okay, first one. What is one song that never fails to make you feel happy?
I said it at the start, Avicii
I
levels.
knew you were going to love it.
Instant
Brilliant.
mood changer.
Avicii is
Yeah.
incredible. I'm not a DJ girly. I'm not like that. But like it does something.
Yeah,
Like
right?
it's a dopamine hit.
Yeah, 100% it is. And I think that's why I love it so much. Because, it gives me tingles. It's a great song.
If you could give any advice to your 13-year-old self, what would it be?
Trust in yourself and just like be your authentic self.
I love that.
And
That's
just-
beautiful.
Yeah, just rock it.
Brilliant. I think that's beautiful. And
Yeah.
also advice that I think that you are very beautifully showcasing in your kids as well.
Oh, I thank you.
You're very welcome.
Love this.
Number 3. I'm very excited to hear the answer for this one.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be any Disney character, who would you
Oh my
be?
God. Okay, like I already have my answer in my
I
head
saw your
because
eyeballs light up for a second
yeah,
there.
I'm like,
I was
no,
like,
I
he's
know,
got it,
I
he's got it.
know, I know this. I
Who is
know
it?
this.
What is it?
Olaf.
Oh my God. I love that answer.
I am 100% Olaf.
You
A, he
are-
loves summer, and I
Yes,
love summer.
yep.
B, Olaf is just like a great vibe.
You are
with-
100% Olaf. I was like in my
Right?
head, every single guest that I asked this to, I try to get an answer before they do to see if they line up. My answer for you was
Ooh,
going to
who was
be,
yours?
now that you've said Olaf, I'm like 110%.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are Olaf. Like live action Frozen, it's you. But my initial thoughts, I had 2. My first one
Mm-hmm.
was Woody from Toy Story. And that was kind of like, I was like, yeah. And I think
Yep.
it's like the energy. It's
Yep.
kind of like the vibes. It's like, I feel like you would make a good live action Woody. But my main one
Perfect.
was the dog from Up.
Oh my God, yes.
But now that you've said Olaf, I see nothing else. You are the most Olaf to ever Olaf.
Oh, why, thank you.
You're so
Thank you very
welcome.
much. Love the dog. Fun fact, Woody, because I get Woody, like, Woody's a great character as well. 100% vibe with Woody. Fun fact, Woody and I have the same, like, personality type.
Oh,
So it would
really?
make sense.
Okay, well, that's
It would
okay.
It would
See,
make
I
sense
knew that.
you
That's
would-
why I
You
said
would
it.
think that. Exactly right. You've done your homework.
I've done my homework. I've done my
you're good.
research. I'm a good podcast host.
Right? Absolutely.
Luke, it has been
Oh.
such an absolute pleasure having you on this podcast.
This has been amazing.
So much
Thank you
fun.
so much for the invite. This
Of
is
course.
this has been incredible.
Thank you for coming on. Oh my God.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. It has been so much fun, Luke. Thank you so
This
immensely.
is awesome.
That was such a fun episode. Luke is such a fun person. I want to talk to him all day. I feel like every single time he even said a singular sentence, my cup got filled more and more and more. He's such a beautiful human, such a beautiful light, and so important to have teachers like him teaching our tiny humans. What a beautiful person. Also, Luke, I am holding you accountable. We are going to a music festival together. Mark my words, it is happening. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to Boldly Me today. If you liked what you heard, make sure to rate and review the show on your podcast app if it lets you, and let a friend know. Most importantly, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and do whatever makes you feel happy. Bye!